All right, this movie had me at Nicolas Cage as fucking Dracula. So Renfield is a new action comedy horror film, kind of a bunch of stuff rolled into one, about the familiar or the servant of Dracula who is tired of being a part of that toxic relationship. So it's about him trying to find himself and through the course of that breaking away from Dracula, but also Dracula isn't about to let him do that, and they are at odds, and there's your movie. Look, this is a fun little movie. I'm going to say that right off the bat. It was so much fun. I laughed so much during this film. The comedy is actually pretty on point. Maybe a few jokes don't land. But on the whole, I was very entertained by this. Nicholas Hoult plays the titular Renfield, who, like I mentioned a little bit ago, is the familiar to Dracula, played by Nicolas Cage, who is incredible in this. Oscar worthy? Maybe not, but he is peak Nick Cage in this, just hamming up the screen whenever he can, in all different forms of his Dracula makeup. It is so fun to watch him work. Nicholas Hoult does a great job, too, as the lead here. I think Nicholas Hoult's a fantastic actor and really holds his own. Rounding out this cast, though, you have Awkwafina, who comes in as Rebecca, who's like a traffic cop who gets involved in the story, and she's typical Awkwafina, which is a lot of fun. She brings a lot of great jokes to the film. And, of course, Ben Schwartz, the voice of Sonic, you've seen him as Jean-Ralphio on Parks and Rec, is kind of like the foil in this. He's kind of like the bad guy who is like a mobster in New Orleans who kind of gets involved with everything Renfield and Dracula got going on. So a lot of hijinks and stuff ensue. And so I'm going to continue with some of the highs. The highs were the jokes, the comedy, the chemistry of this ensemble. I think all of them are fantastic. They are some of the best parts of this movie. And I'm a little surprised at how it actually gets to certain points of the story, actually digging into that idea of Renfield being in a toxic relationship. They don't go all the way with it or explore it to the point where you'd be like, wow, dang, they really unearthed some stuff here and really dug deep into it. They get into some stuff. They make, take it to comedic levels. And I think on that front, it'll be entertaining and people will be highly satisfied with this. Now, the weaknesses here is, maybe the story is a little all over the place. Very thin, and some of my biggest problems were like right out of the get-go. I was like, oh no, what are we in store for? And so you get some like really terrible character exposition at the front. Like Awkwafina is talking to another character who is her sister about their dad who's passed away, and you get their whole backstory in this very weird forced back and forth, like dad was a cop on the force, he was a good cop, yes, but we must move on, blah blah blah. It felt very weird, and just that's not exactly how the dialogue went, but it felt very forced, and like we need to give you up to speed on this character's backstory, which I guess you need, but at the same time it just felt like it could have been written a little better or a little more clever to kind of just get you like the information you need, and then we move on with the story. They do that with a few characters, even Ben Schwartz's character, who is kind of like the son of a mob family, and he's just trying to keep the family name, and scaring people of New Orleans and making them fear the family name. And so you get a lot of more forced dialogue there just to get that story rolling. But once you get past all that, once you get past some of the schlocky exposition dumps between characters at the beginning, it's actually a fun ride. Not every storyline works. Like the whole mobster angle that they kind of bring into this is a little weird. I won't go too much into it, but it's just very, I don't know, didn't really grab me. I was more into the Nicolas Cage, Nicholas Hoult dynamic, as well as Nicholas Hoult and Awkwafina's dynamic. And then whenever Ben Schwartz kind of cut in, I was all about that. And of course, some of the best stuff is when, and you've seen the trailers, if you've seen the trailers, where Nicholas Hoult's character Renfield attends like those support group sessions. Some of the best stuff are in those scenes, and they go back several times to the support group, and those scenes are a lot of fun. And so, there's a lot of peaks and valleys in this film. But, at the end of the day, I laughed quite a bit. There's a great running joke in there involving anybody named Kyle. You might get a kick out of it. I know I did because I went with my brother-in-law, Kyle, and Uh, it just made me laugh, and I'm gonna have to use the quote probably as his text tone from now on. It was so good, a good running joke. But yeah, fun, entertaining. This is exactly what you want out of a film like this. Is it gonna, win awards or be the best box office film of the year? No, but it was fun and entertaining. And an aspect of this I actually like that you might see in one of the TV spots is that they do in the film kind of recreate footage from like the original like 1929, 1930, I forget at the top of my head, like that original Dracula film from the Universal Monster movies. Like, I love that Dracula movie. Like, I got that in like a box set like a year or two ago, and I watched that film, and it is so good. And it was so cool to see that scene or see that movie kind of reenacted by Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult, and making Renfield like a pseudo sequel to that, which was kind of fun. Not that that's a prerequisite to enjoy this film. If you've never seen it, it's just, if you haven't seen it, it won't ruin your experience for this. But if you have seen it, it really added to that stuff when they put it into this movie, and it was real fun because they actually did it in the little box, 4:3 aspect ratio, which I appreciated. But yeah, in the end, guys, I'm gonna have to give this film a B-. Look, definitely a fun time, entertaining time, but like I said, I acknowledge it's got a lot of problems. It's very clunky in some parts, but you will find entertainment in this, and is that not what we want? A film can be fun and good and still be a B-. And I think I would definitely tell people to go check this out if this is what you're looking for. If you're looking for kind of a horror-esque film, but it's got lots of comedy and action in it, this might just be up your alley. And who doesn't like Nicolas Cage chewing up scenery and literally with vampire fangs in this? I mean, it's exactly what you would want out of a fun film like this. So what do you guys think? Have you seen Renfield? Are you curious about it? What's your favorite Nicolas Cage performance? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, guys, hit that like button, the subscribe button, the little bell notification to be notified whenever I drop new videos. And until the next review, guys, I'll be seeing you.